What happened on Raw left the entire arena in shock. You didn't just beat him, you didn't just pin him, you obliterated him, and the WWE Universe may never forget what Bron Breakker did to Bronson Reed on Monday Night Raw. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Suplex Rumble, the channel where we break down every suplex, every slam, every single jaw-dropping moment that makes professional wrestling the greatest spectacle on the planet. I am your name, and if you are not subscribed yet after what I am about to tell you today, you are going to want to hit that bell, smash that subscribe button, and lock yourself in, because this story is absolutely unreal. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, two absolute monsters, two bulls in the same china shop. And on this past Monday Night Raw, only one of them walked away with their head held high, and the other was left destroyed, decimated, and absolutely humiliated in front of the entire WWE Universe. Now, before we get into the carnage, let me paint the picture for you, because context is everything in professional wrestling, and this moment did not come out of nowhere. Bron Breakker, and let's just take a moment to appreciate what this man is arguably the most physically imposing, athletically gifted superstar on the entire Raw roster right now. We are talking about a guy who moves like a cruiserweight, hits like a freight train, and carries himself with the kind of intensity that makes you genuinely uncomfortable watching from your couch. He is not just a second-generation superstar writing his family name. This man has proven, time and time again, that he belongs at the absolute top of this business. And then there is Bronson Reed, the Aussie, the Tsunami, a man who has 300+ pounds of sheer, unforgiving power. Bronson Reed is not a man you want to get in the ring with under normal circumstances. He is a man who climbs to the top rope at that size and crashes down on opponents like a natural disaster. When Bronson Reed hits that Tsuki, the top rope splash, it is not a wrestling move. It is a geological event. So when these two names started colliding in the same sentence, when the tension between Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed began to boil, every single fan paying attention knew that we were building towards something absolutely volcanic. Here is what makes this moment so special and so satisfying for those of us who have been watching closely. The friction between these two has been simmering. Whether it is a lingering stare from across the arena, a war of words backstage, or crossing paths in a way that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, this was a collision that WWE was clearly building toward with purpose and precision. And that is something we should always appreciate as fans, when a story is told well, when the payoff actually delivers on the promise that is the magic of this art form. And this past Monday, the promise was more than fulfilled. By the time we reached the point of no return on Raw, the moment where it was clear these two men were going to collide, the energy in that arena was electric. You could feel it through the screen. The crowd knew. The roster knew. And if Bronson Reed did not know before the first bell, he absolutely knew the second Bron Breakker locked eyes with him. Okay, here we go. This is the part you clicked for. This is the moment. It started fast. It started physical. Bron Breakker came out of the gates like a man possessed, and that is the only way to describe it. There was no hesitation, no feeling out process, no circling. Bron was on Bronson Reed immediately, like a predator who had already decided the outcome before the opening bell even finished echoing through the arena. The aggression was relentless. Every single move Breakker threw carried this terrifying combination of technical precision and raw, unfiltered violence. This was not a man going through the motions. This was a man sending a message to Reed, to the locker room, to every superstar on the Raw roster, that there is a new apex predator in this jungle, and his name is Bron Breakker. Now, Bronson Reed, give him all the credit in the world, did not go quietly. Because that is not who Bronson Reed is. He fought back. He always fights back. He landed some heavy shots of his own. At one point, it genuinely looked like Reed might turn the tide, and the crowd felt that. That split second where you think the monster might slay the other monster? That is great wrestling storytelling. But here is the difference. Here is what separated this moment from just being a great match. Bron Breakker absorbed everything Bronson Reed threw at him, and then he unleashed. The power on display was something that defies easy description. The German suplexes alone, those thunderous, spine-bending, full rotation German suplexes that Breakker throws like he is tossing a bag of laundry, those were brutal. Reed is not a small man. Reed is not easy to throw. And Bron was throwing him like he weighed nothing. But the moment that will define this segment for a long time to come, is when Breakker just completely took over. The shift in momentum was violent and sudden. 1 second Reed had a pulse in this fight. The next second, Bron hit the devastating spear, and if you have never seen a Bron Breakker spear in person or on your screen at full volume, I need you to understand that move is like getting hit by a car. A fast car. A car driven by someone who absolutely does not care about your well-being. The impact was seismic. The crowd erupted. And then Bron did not stop there, because that is what makes this feel different. That is what makes this feel like a statement rather than just a win. He kept going. The destruction continued. The physicality was relentless. By the end, Bronson Reed was not just beaten. He was destroyed, flattened, left as a message, written in pain, delivered to the entire WWE Universe on a Monday night in prime time. Okay, let's slow down. Let's be analytical for a moment, because I think this moment deserves more than just excitement. It deserves context. What does this destruction of Bronson Reed tell us about where Bron Breakker is right now in his WWE career? Number 1, and this is the big one, Bron Breakker is operating at a level of confidence that we have not always seen from him. In his early days, there was talent, absolutely, but there was also the occasional rough edge, the occasional moment where you could see a young man still figuring out who he was as a performer and as a character. That is gone. What we are watching right now is a man who has fully arrived. He is comfortable in his own skin, he is comfortable in his power, and he is absolutely comfortable in the role of a dominant, unstoppable force on Monday Night Raw. Number 2, targeting Bronson Reed specifically was a smart piece of storytelling, because Reed is credible. Reed is scary. You do not look dominant by beating up the roster's most unassuming member. You look dominant by going after one of the biggest, most dangerous threats on the show and making it look easy. That is exactly what happened here. By destroying Bronson Reed in this fashion, Bron Breakker has essentially issued a challenge to every single superstar on the Raw roster. If I can do this to him, what do you think I am capable of doing to you? Number 3, and this is the one that gets me genuinely excited as a wrestling fan, this feels like it has legs. This does not feel like a one-night spectacle. The energy around this rivalry, the physicality of this confrontation, the way both men carry themselves, this feels like the beginning of something bigger. A program, a feud, a war that could absolutely deliver premium-level moments on the grandest stages. And listen, I am not alone in feeling this way. The wrestling community absolutely exploded after this segment aired. Social media was on fire. Fans were losing their minds. The Bron Breakker conversation, which was already very loud, got significantly louder after Monday night. People were posting, sharing, clipping, and talking about this moment in the way that only the very best wrestling moments generate conversation. Comments like "Bron is on another level right now" and "Reed never stood a chance" and "This is the most dominant I have ever seen Breakker look" were everywhere. And you know what? They were right. All of them. This is what we come to Raw for. This is why Monday nights matter. This is why, in a world full of entertainment options competing for your attention every single second, professional wrestling still finds a way to generate this kind of passion and this kind of reaction. Because when it is done right, when the talent is great and the storytelling is on point, nothing creates a moment quite like this. So where do we go from here? What is next for Bron Breakker coming off a statement performance like this? I will tell you my honest take. I think Bron Breakker is absolutely on a collision course with gold. Whether that means championship gold is in his immediate future, whether this victory over Reed opens a door to the next big feud, or whether this is the beginning of a full-scale dominant run that reshapes the entire landscape of Monday Night Raw, something big is building. You can feel it. And for Bronson Reed? I am not writing him off. Not even close. Monsters do not stay down forever in WWE. The most dangerous version of Bronson Reed might just be the version that has been embarrassed, the version that has been made to look weak, because that version has everything to prove and nothing to lose. A motivated, hungry, revenge-driven Bronson Reed could be absolutely terrifying. And I for one am very, very interested in seeing how he responds. The best rivalries in wrestling are not decided in a single night. They are defined by the response, by the comeback, by the fire that gets lit when someone has been taken to their absolute lowest point and chooses to rise. That is going to do it for today's video here on Suplex Rumble, but before you go, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was this the most dominant we have ever seen Bron Breakker? Is this the start of a long-term program with Bronson Reed? And most